What's up, YouTube? This is MathWiz927 and welcome to part 1 of the WWE Draft, also known as episode number 42 of my WWE 2K17 Universe Mode. We are hot off the heels of a stellar, bombastic WrestleMania pay-per-view. And we are coming back to you from Santa Clara, California for not just this episode of Universe Mode, we'll be back again for the next part of the WWE Draft as well. So California getting a major dose of professional wrestling. It has been an incredible week. I mean, first we have WrestleMania. We had the SAMI Awards, WrestleMania. 3 back-to-back just incredible days here, but we now jump into Monday Night Raw's half of the WWE Draft. And in case you are unfamiliar with the rules of the WWE Draft here, it's very simple. We have matches, Raw versus SmackDown. The winner, whichever brand they represent, gets that draft pick. So to kick things off, this matchup is worth not just 1, but 2 draft picks. So we've got Kane representing Monday Night Raw, and representing SmackDown, Roman Reigns. Of course, last night at WrestleMania. First of all, if you haven't seen it, go watch WrestleMania, because spoilers, there's your warning. So last night at WrestleMania, Roman Reigns was defeated by John Cena, which means, because of the stipulation of that match, Roman Reigns he cannot challenge for the WWE Championship for the next year. And as I said previously, the only way that Reigns could hope to escape that stipulation would be to be drafted to Raw. However, as you can see tonight, that's not the way that Roman Reigns goes. He's not going to come out here and just lose and hope that he goes to the next show. Roman Reigns, he's a fighter. He's gonna fight for his brand, because that's the type of man that he is. He lost fair and square. He knows that. And he's just gonna keep on going about his daily routine. Yeah, he can't challenge for the WWE title for an entire year, but this gives Roman Reigns a chance to sort of, to reevaluate himself. Figure out, just who is Roman Reigns? What is Roman Reigns striving for, if not the WWE title? How can Roman Reigns improve himself? Those are the questions that Roman Reigns has to be asking himself as he steps into the ring, representing SmackDown to take on Monday Night Raw's Kane in our opening match of the WWE Draft. Perhaps what was the most interesting moment for Roman Reigns last night on the WrestleMania show was when, after Seth Rollins defeated Dean Ambrose in the 60-minute Iron Man match, Roman Reigns stepped into the ring to try to calm Ambrose down, and Ambrose laid Roman Reigns out with dirty deeds. Now, after the event had ended, I have heard that backstage, Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, they did meet up backstage. They didn't come to blows or anything. Dean Ambrose, he apologized for his actions, said he was a bit overheated. To be fair, Dean Ambrose, he's been pursuing Seth Rollins for 9 months, and every single time Ambrose has faced Rollins, he has lost. And that was seemingly his last chance to fight Rollins, and he lost yet again. So I guess it was to be expected that Dean Ambrose would blow a gasket. Roman Reigns wasn't exactly the right guy to take it out on, but Ambrose realized that. And it seems as though Reigns and Ambrose are willing to, I should say, more so for Roman Reigns, rather. He's willing to let that slide for now. He's looking to put it past him. Although, right now with Ambrose and Rollins both on Raw, perhaps that could change. It was this time last year that Roman Reigns was sent packing to SmackDown because Dean Ambrose lost a draft match to Sheamus. And that was what sent Roman Reigns to SmackDown. That's really what set the whole chain of events in motion for the Shield's destruction. Reigns went to SmackDown, and after that, well, it just left the door open for Seth Rollins to stab Ambrose in the back, because as Rollins said, it was Ambrose's fault that Reigns got drafted to SmackDown because Ambrose lost that match. Even though the WWE Draft essentially is just random chance, and it was just a horrible bad luck for Dean Ambrose on that night. But a massive powerbomb by Roman Reigns as we focus back in on the action. Shoulders down for Kane. But Kane is able to kick out at the last second. Roman Reigns now just hammering away with these right hands. Roman Reigns does have a lot of aggression that he's got to get out of him. I mean, losing to John Cena last night has to be humiliating. Has to be humiliating for Roman Reigns. But look at this, Kane. Kane now with that glove to the face, just trying to choke Reigns out here. Trying to get him to pass out with this claw submission hold. Referee has to make sure that Kane isn't actually applying an illegal chokehold. Otherwise, Kane could risk disqualification, but look at Reigns. Reigns powering out. And now Reigns has him by the skull. Look out. Massive shot to the back of Kane's head. That's the raw power, the striking ability of Roman Reigns. And this Raw crowd, it's been a long time since they last saw Roman Reigns on the red brand. But right now, essentially, Reigns is their enemy. With a crucifix powerbomb 1, got him 2, got him 3, no! Kane just able to get his shoulders off the canvas. And I mean, Kane, he's not exactly a bit of a mixed reaction here tonight. Is yeah, Kane, he's representing Raw, so that's who these Raw fans should be pulling for. But then again, it's Kane. Kane isn't exactly a guy who people around here like. I mean, his time as the director of operations really was a really nefarious section of his career, really dastardly. Nobody really liked Kane at that point. Although, when he went up against Seth Rollins, perhaps that started to change as Kane, with a massive superplex, takes Roman Reigns crashing down to the canvas, and now Kane could be looking for a choke slam. He's got him by the throat. Reigns, look out, no! Vicious elbow and a spear! The elbow out of the choke slam into a massive spear, but Kane's foot was under the bottom rope. And Reigns, well, it doesn't look like that mistake has phased him. Reigns just goes to the corner, and he's gonna hit another spear! If the first didn't work, Kane was out of position. Hit him with another one. Reigns hooks the leg on Kane. 1, 2, 3, and just like that, Roman Reigns wins this match, and he wins not 1, but 2 draft picks for Tuesday night SmackDown. I got all the days wrong. You know what? Why not? Wednesday night SmackDown, Saturday night SmackDown, Sunday night SmackDown. Let's just get it all wrong. Roman Reigns gets the win. And now we will find out who is going to SmackDown Live. Hideo Itami is going to SmackDown. That is a massive pick to kick off this draft. Now we will see who is going to be the second pick for SmackDown. Oh my God! Dean Ambrose is headed to SmackDown. Well, isn't this a bit of a reversal of roles, so to speak? Last year at the WWE Draft, it was Roman Reigns who was drafted to SmackDown after Dean Ambrose lost a match. This time, Roman Reigns wins a match, and Dean Ambrose goes to SmackDown. Well, I guess this seals the deal that Dean Ambrose is not going to get his revenge on Seth Rollins anytime soon. Although I suppose if Rollins goes to SmackDown as well, which is a shot in the dark, but I mean, it could happen, you never know. But realistically, Dean Ambrose is gonna have to start moving on from Seth Rollins. He never got his revenge. But before we get too caught up on that, we need to move on because the show continues as we've got tag team action, ladies and gentlemen. And as per the rules of the WWE Draft, according the way that our tag teams are structured, it is, you know, each superstar is worth 1 pick. So tag teams can be split. They don't operate as a unit. Tag teams can be split. So even the tag team champions, Titus O'Neil and Darren Young, one of them could get drafted to Raw, and, I mean, they don't go as a tag team. However, this matchup, the way that this matchup is going to go, this is worth 2 picks, and specifically, it is worth a tag team. So the winner of this matchup, their brand, will be drafting a tag team. Otherwise, in any other situation, so, I mean, as we just saw right there, Hideo Itami drafted to SmackDown, so I guess that puts a kibosh on the Finn Balor Hideo Itami tag team, although to be fair, from what we understand from them, their motivations, it seemed like they were going to be going their separate ways anyway. But now this just further cements that claim. But this tag team matchup is going to be interesting, not just because it's worth a draft pick, it's worth a tag team, but this one is personal. You've got the Ascension representing SmackDown, taking on the Dudley Boys representing Monday Night Raw. But of course, these two teams collided in that colossal Fatal 4-Way Tag Team Elimination match at WrestleMania. They had formed an alliance going into the event, and of course, it was the Dudley Boys who turned on the Ascension. Victor laid out and eliminated by a 3D. And now the Ascension looks to get some revenge on the Dudley Boys, as these two tag teams will square off. The Dudley Boys, the veterans, taking on the former tag team champions, the Ascension. And of course, the winning team, their brand, will receive a tag team draft pick. Oh, look at that cheap shot there by Victor Devon trying to get into the ring. And of course, the crowd doesn't really support either of these two teams, quite frankly. Ever since the Dudley Boys had their change of heart, I mean, and as well, the Ascension, I mean, the people have never really been a big fan of the Ascension. I mean, especially, we've seen some of their comments in the past leading into WrestleMania, and it was just, it wasn't pretty. So I don't exactly think that the crowd is really going to be in support of any one particular faction in this matchup. Although I suppose, since this is Monday Night Raw, perhaps the Dudley Boys are going to be the favored team, just simply because they are representing this brand. It's really a lesser of two evils, I suppose, in this scenario. Let's look at this tag made to Connor. And a punch right to the midsection of Bubba Ray Dudley, as now Connor with the reverse elbow. Bubba stays on his feet, but Connor keeping him hooked there as he drills 3 consecutive elbows straight into the temple of Bubba Ray Dudley, and now stomping a mud hole. Of course, the Ascension were eliminated after they had eliminated the tag team champions Finn Balor and Hideo Itami. Perhaps at that point it would have been looking like the momentum was in the Ascension's corner. It could have looked like the Ascension were on the verge of becoming 2-time tag team champions, but alas, that was not meant to be, as the Dudley Boys stabbed them in the back. Of course, though, the Dudley Boys wouldn't win the tag titles either. It was the Primetime Players who became the new tag team champions at WrestleMania. Of course, Darren Young and Titus O'Neil also on SmackDown, so perhaps they should be keeping a close eye on this matchup, not only because the winner could very well be the next #1 contenders for the tag team titles, but if the Ascension were to win this matchup, and again, with the way that the tag team titles work, the champions are able to compete on either brand. But still, should they lose those titles, you do always have to wonder, well, what kind of competition are you going up against? Who is on your home show? Who should you really be looking out for? And if the Ascension wins this matchup, well, then we've got another tag team going to SmackDown. Just more competition for the Primetime Players to deal with. As right now, the Ascension are bringing the fight to the Dudley Boys. Victor goes for the cover, but it looks like Devon's going to run in there to break that one up, and indeed he does. Fortunately, this matchup not breaking down into total chaos just yet. But the referee's going to have to try to stay on top of this, as Victor dumped over the top rope, but he's able to hang on. Bubba Ray now lifts him up. Look at the strength of Bubba Ray. Vertical suplex. And he brings Victor back into the ring. Bubba Ray now. Is he looking to make a tag to Devon? I believe he is. Victor tossed into the corner, and the tag is in fact made. And look at this. A doomsday device by the Dudley Boys. What a tag team maneuver there. We've seen the Ascension use that move in the past. I guess it's just a hot commodity, that move. And I mean, hey, if you're looking to pay homage to a tag team, I mean, why not pay homage to one of the greats? As another tag made, Bubba Ray back into the matchup. A knife edge chop there as Victor trying to get back to his feet, but Bubba Ray not looking to give him the opportunity to do so. Another tag made. Quick fire tags from the Dudley Boys. Oh no. Look out below. Devon with the diving headbutt. Victor's in trouble. He's in a world of trouble right now as the Dudley Boys are on fire. Just like that, the Dudley Boys turn the tables, and now it looks like, are we going to see another tag made? As Victor backed into the corner instead. Devon has Victor up for Snake Eyes. As Bubba Ray now can take a bit of a breather. Devon to the second rope. Devon's heating up. He's firing up. Look out below. No! Victor able to sidestep the shoulder block. And now Devon's in trouble. As Victor... Oh, what a massive slam there by Victor. Using the full momentum of Devon Dudley against him. As now Victor off the ropes with a massive running knee. Straight to the midsection. And Victor with a full head of steam. Putting extra force, added emphasis behind that kick. And now the STO. That is vintage Victor with the STO into the pin. 2. No, but a kick out by Devon. Devon just able to survive, but how much longer is that going to be the case? The Ascension have... Well, Victor has really turned the tables in favor of the Ascension right now. Could we be on the verge of seeing a major upset victory for the Ascension? I mean, you'd have to say it's an upset. I mean, the Dudley Boys, they did pin them, eliminate them at WrestleMania. This is the vengeance that the Ascension are looking for. And to pick up a win over a legendary tag team like the Dudley Boys would be incredible for the careers of the Ascension. Would definitely work, would definitely help to catapult them back into the tag title hunt. But again, there are other tag teams in this division to worry about, as we'll see later on through the ramifications of this matchup, who's going to get drafted where. But right now, Devon Dudley has turned the tides in this matchup. The tag is made to Bubba Ray. Connor's in trouble. The Dudley Boys, they're lining it up. 3D! The Dudley Death Drop, and that is going to spell the end for the Ascension. Hook of the leg. 1, got him 2, got him 3. The Dudley Boys pick up the win, and it's a bounce back from Monday Night Raw as they will be getting the next draft pick. I mean, they had 2 huge losses in Hideo Itami and Dean Ambrose already in this draft. But now they can at least hope to bolster their tag team division with this next draft pick. The Dudley Boys, meanwhile, they get the win over the Ascension. That should knock them out of the title hunt. As for the Dudley Boys, are they next in line? Are they the next #1 contenders for the gold? Well, I guess we're gonna have to wait to find out, but first, who is going to Monday Night Raw? The Lucha Dragons are going to Monday Night Raw. That is a huge pickup for Monday Night Raw. You want to talk about a high-flying, high-octane tag team? You've got it right there in Kalisto and Sin Cara. That is going to shake the foundations of Monday Night Raw's tag team division for sure. But coming up next, we've got another singles matchup. This one just for 1 draft pick. Nothing extravagant about this matchup, except perhaps for the opponents, the participants who are involved. As you can see, making his way to the ring, it is Sami Zayn. Of course, Sami Zayn, he's had a hell of a journey over the past year in Universe Mode. I mean, he was a part of the legendary 5-on-5 Survivor Series Elimination Tag Team matchup representing Team Ambrose. Curious how Sami Zayn would feel, because he's formed quite the friendship with Dean Ambrose throughout their time together, of course at Battleground as well. Even before Survivor Series, it was Sami Zayn who stepped up to join Dean Ambrose in a tag team match against Wesley Blake and Buddy Murphy. Though they were unsuccessful, Sami Zayn and Dean Ambrose nonetheless were good friends. They had developed quite a bond here in Universe Mode. And now that Dean Ambrose is going to SmackDown, well, what's next for Sami Zayn? Of course, Sami Zayn has had a shot at the US title and Baron Corbin in the past, albeit unsuccessfully. But if you want to talk about, well, the polar opposite of a success story, you're looking at it right here in, well, the former black sheep of the Wyatt family, Braun Strowman. And just look at Strowman. I mean, look at the look in his face. Braun Strowman is all business tonight. I mean, you have to think, what could possibly be going through this man's mind? Braun Strowman, he seems almost a bit lost out there. I mean, you have to think, where did Bray Wyatt find this man? Bray Wyatt basically said that he scraped this man off the streets, and he made him into a success, but Braun Strowman couldn't return the favor at Roadblock in his matchup against Sting. And after that, Bray Wyatt, he banished Braun Strowman from the Wyatt family. And we haven't really seen much of Braun Strowman since, but here tonight, perhaps this could be the return to form that Braun Strowman is looking for. It could be a new beginning for Braun Strowman. As the referee rings the bell, and certainly, I mean, just look at the size differential. Sami Zayn just got bowled over by Braun Strowman. I mean, just look at the size difference. Braun Strowman certainly is going to be a David versus Goliath matchup here, as Sami Zayn tried to clothesline him, but he can't bring down the massive Braun Strowman. This behemoth of a man, just too much for Zayn to take down, as now it's Sami Zayn backed into a corner. Braun Strowman now just laying into him with these vicious left and rights, and now look at that hip toss. Sent him flying nearly halfway across the ring. And honestly, I do see a lot of potential in Braun Strowman. I mean, his size, his strength. He has a presence unrivaled here in Universe Mode. But Bray Wyatt, it's just the thing. Bray Wyatt put him up against Sting, which, I mean, really was a trial by fire for Braun Strowman. If it had been any other man, I truly think Braun Strowman would have dominated the matchup at Roadblock against, anyone else who he'd been put up against. But now, I don't know. I don't know if Braun Strowman is going to be able to come back from that. Being banished from the family, who knows what all sort of twisted initiations Braun Strowman had to go through. I don't know how Bray Wyatt inducts people into the Wyatt family, but I mean, just seeing Bray Wyatt's track record, I can't imagine that it would be anything pleasant. And now that Strowman, he went through all of that. Wait a minute, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn inside cradle. He's got him. 1. No, just a 1 count. Strowman, a quick kick out. But Sami Zayn has turned the table. Sami Zayn could be looking to take a risk here. He hangs out Braun Strowman off that top rope. And now Sami Zayn looking to fly off the top rope from the high rent district. Swanton! And the hook of the leg on Strowman. Sami Zayn, has he got him? 1. No, and again a kick out at 1 by Strowman. But Braun Strowman, now that he's no longer a part of the Wyatt family, it seems as though he's lost his cause, lost his goal. I mean, he's a man without a purpose right now, and I guess he's just trying to find, what's next for Braun Strowman. That's really where Braun Strowman has been left at this stage. And that could make him more dangerous, but that could also... look at the raw power of Strowman just to force his way out of that neck breaker. But that could also be a huge opportunity for Sami Zayn. Braun Strowman, if he's not completely focused on this matchup, Sami Zayn could use that opportunity to pick up a big victory over Braun Strowman. That's the thing. Both of these men need a victory here tonight in this WWE Draft. Sami Zayn, it's been quite some time since he's been... Well, I mean, his last title opportunity was at Fastlane when he lost to Baron Corbin. He didn't really have a huge say in the Royal Rumble matchup, and other than that, that was really the last noteworthy thing that Sami Zayn has done. And as for Braun Strowman, well, being banished from the Wyatt family certainly can't help his mind, his current mindset. But he might have just put Sami Zayn away there too. No, a kick out by Sami Zayn. He's still in this matchup. As Braun Strowman, I mean, you can tell Strowman is frustrated. That could actually be devastating for Sami Zayn, but it could also be his golden opportunity if Strowman gets too hot-tempered. Oh, look at that, Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn able to counter, and now Sami Zayn with the Koji clutch. Sami Zayn's got the Koji clutch locked in. Can he get this monster of a man to tap out? Or pass out even? Strowman's got nowhere to go. Those long legs are so close to those ropes, but not close enough. Strowman, is he going to be forced to submit here? What a victory this would be for Sami Zayn. To get Braun Strowman to tap out, but no. Strowman with an elbow straight to the side of the skull. And just like that, he can just muscle his way out of that submission hold. Look at now, he's got him by the throat. And a massive choke slam from Braun Strowman. Sami Zayn, that might have just crushed the life out of him. As Strowman, I thought maybe he was going to look for a pin, but no. Strowman up to the second rope. Oh God, he's going to crush Sami Zayn. Look out, no! Sami Zayn rolled out of the way. Sami Zayn able to avoid it. Braun Strowman crashes and burns. And this is Sami Zayn's golden opportunity. Blue Thunder Bomb! Blue Thunder Bomb! 1, 2, 3, no! Strowman just barely able to kick out of that Blue Thunder Bomb, but Sami Zayn is feeling it. Sami Zayn, he is just riding a wave of momentum. Strowman whipped into the corner. Here comes the Haluva kick. No, Strowman able to catch it. Strowman caught the Haluva kick, and he just caught Sami Zayn with a massive clothesline, but Sami Zayn right back to his feet. Sami Zayn channeling his second wind. The momentum is all in his corner. As he takes Strowman down with a couple of kicks, ducks a clothesline, caught him for the arm trap neck breaker. Sami Zayn, just pure adrenaline right now. Braun Strowman can't even hope to combat this flurry of offense as Sami Zayn in the corner, exploder suplex. Sami Zayn. Where is this fire? Where has this been from Sami Zayn? But Strowman quickly looks to shut that down, quickly looks to extinguish the flame, as Sami Zayn again brought down with that devastating elevated cutter. And Braun Strowman now, it could only be a matter of time until Braun Strowman put Sami Zayn away. As Sami Zayn brought over into the corner. Strowman looking to put him up in the high rent district, and this is dangerous territory. This is not going to be good news for Sami Zayn. As Strowman, wait a minute. Sami Zayn, oh, Sami Zayn with the headbutt. Able to knock Strowman off of his perch, and now Sami Zayn from the second rope to the top. Crossbody. Sami Zayn hooking the leg on Strowman. Does he have him 1? Does he have him 2? No. Strowman kicks out again. What a match between these two men. Sami Zayn giving it everything he's got, but Braun Strowman continues to answer back. But Sami Zayn with the Haluva kick might have done it. Hook of the leg on Strowman. 1, 2, 3. And Sami Zayn with a massive victory over Braun Strowman here tonight. He may have lacked the size, the power that Braun Strowman possesses, but he certainly was not lacking in gumption, in fighting spirit. Sami Zayn. I don't know what has happened, what has gotten under Sami Zayn's skin, but Sami Zayn, he certainly was on a whole other level tonight. And now he scores a draft pick for Monday Night Raw. And it looks like the former United States champion, Jack Swagger, is the next superstar to join the Monday Night Raw roster. Jack Swagger will make his return to the red brand. After last year, Jack Swagger was drafted to SmackDown, and things didn't really work out so well for him there. I mean, he did recently pick up a win on the Slammy Awards special over Tyson Kidd. Perhaps that could give Swagger a bit of a momentum boost. Just give him the spark he needs to make his mark when he returns to Monday Night Raw. But for right now, we've got a superstar who, well, Alberto Del Rio, he personally requested this matchup. He wanted to represent Monday Night Raw. In fact, he practically begged General Manager Paul Heyman for this matchup. Alberto Del Rio, of course, a former United States champion as well. Del Rio, much like Jack Swagger, has been, well, less than impressive as of late. In fact, Del Rio, I'd argue that he's been in the worst shape of his career. I mean, just losing match after match. I mean, granted, more recently, he's managed to gain his fire back. He's been able to put on some incredible performances, but he still can't get the job done. But Del Rio wants to prove that he's still worth something here on Monday Night Raw. He doesn't, you know, Del Rio might be on the chopping block, but Del Rio, he wants to prove that he is still a valued commodity on the Raw roster, and that's why he requested this match to represent Monday Night Raw. But who is his opponent? Oh. Well, I think Alberto Del Rio may be in a bit over his head. I mean, Del Rio, he might be a former US champ, a former World Heavyweight Champion, but his pedigree pales in comparison to the pedigree of the man who stands before you now, Shinsuke Nakamura! The king of strong style makes his first appearance on Monday Night Raw since he made his debut on SmackDown just, well, almost a month ago. And I mean, who could forget his in-ring debut at WrestleMania when Shinsuke Nakamura laid waste to the former WWE champion, Brock Lesnar. Nakamura had a hell of a night at WrestleMania last night. And perhaps that fatigue, you know, the damage he sustained in that match with Brock Lesnar could be the one thing that might save Alberto Del Rio in this matchup. But then again, this is Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura is still fairly new to the series, and I highly doubt that Nakamura is going to want to, well, let the people down here. I highly doubt that Shinsuke Nakamura is going to take this matchup lightly. I mean, that would be humiliating for Nakamura. Come off a huge victory over Brock Lesnar, a victory that could almost immediately put you in the main event scene on SmackDown, and then the next night on Raw, come up short against Alberto Del Rio, a man who, over the past several months, almost the near half a year, hasn't been able to buy a match. So Nakamura, I mean, this could be the potential for a spoiler in the making, but an upset in the making perhaps. But Nakamura, I don't think Nakamura's gonna let that happen. Nakamura, I mean, just look at that. Alberto Del Rio almost a bit cautious approaching Nakamura here. Of course, Nakamura just always oozes charisma whenever he's in that ring. He definitely has a very unorthodox style. Oh, but look at Del Rio. Del Rio not looking to let Nakamura start off with the mind games. Del Rio going straight at him. Aggressive here is Del Rio. But he's not going to win a battle of strikes with Nakamura. As we see right there, Nakamura, the boot to the midsection, but Nakamura turned his back. Nakamura turned his back on Alberto Del Rio. But even then, Nakamura able to counter. I mean, Alberto Del Rio, he doesn't like to be humiliated. And that's just what Nakamura did by turning his back. But even then, adding insult to injury by Nakamura, countering Del Rio's attempted, well, it almost seems as though Nakamura was perhaps goading him in. Perhaps he knew that Del Rio was going to get frustrated like that, and he used that to his advantage. As Nakamura just leveling Del Rio with these strikes. There's Nakamura now, looking to the crowd. Oh, and a stomp. Just above the belt, just barely legal. But Nakamura's going to have to, Nakamura's going to have to be careful with that. The referee needs to keep a close eye. Oh, Del Rio able to block the forearm. And now a kick to the midsection. And another one. Alberto Del Rio, of course, he does have some educated feet. Watch out for that devastating super kick of his. Oh, but Nakamura, you got to watch out for, well, you always got to be on the lookout when you're facing Nakamura. If he's not kicking you in the face, he's going to knee you in the face. If he's not going to knee you in the face, he's going to hit you with an elbow. If he's not going to hit you with an elbow, then he'll just punch you straight in the face. You cannot get too comfortable when Shinsuke Nakamura's in the ring. As Nakamura, the knee to the midsection. Del Rio slumps to the canvas. And Nakamura, we saw this at WrestleMania, drives the knee straight into the back of the skull. Right across that apron, Nakamura is just on fire in this matchup. Alberto Del Rio, he may be regretting his decision to ask for this matchup. Well, wait, maybe not. Del Rio with the reversal. Oh, but Nakamura caught the kick and delivers a kick of his own straight to the leg. of Alberto Del Rio, now throwing him into that barricade. Nakamura. Well, this is something else that we saw at WrestleMania. Nakamura lines him up for another massive knee to the side of the skull. The referee continues his count here. Nakamura's gonna have to bring Del Rio back into the ring. Otherwise, this matchup could end on a count out. That's a count of 8, but Nakamura makes it back into the ring quite comfortably. As Del Rio stumbles to his feet. Here's no! Del Rio caught the kick. An elbow straight to the knee. And now Del Rio, backstabber! Alberto Del Rio with the backstabber. Hook of the leg on Nakamura. 1, 2. No, but Nakamura just able to kick out. But Alberto Del Rio, how quickly he turned the tide in this matchup. And now Del Rio could be looking for a cross arm breaker. Oh no, wait. Del Rio playing a little bit of mind games. He was calling for the cross arm breaker, but instead he's got Nakamura hung upside down in the Tree of Woe. A very dangerous position for Nakamura as Del Rio scales to the top rope. Nakamura trying to get himself up, but Del Rio with a massive stomp straight to the Nakamura's skull, bouncing off the canvas. Huge upset. No, Nakamura kicks out. Alberto Del Rio with that devastating double foot stomp straight to Nakamura's face. But Nakamura still kicks out. Nakamura still in this matchup. Alberto Del Rio trying to fire on all cylinders here. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. I mean, Del Rio, that was one of his best shots, and Nakamura just kicked out of it. But Del Rio looking for another one. Looking for the super kick. No! Nakamura able to duck the super kick. And now he's got Del Rio with an inverted exploder suplex at Nakamura. Nakamura's fired up. Nakamura, he's lining up Alberto. Could be looking for the Kinshasa. Nakamura, 1, 2, 3, and Nakamura picks up another dominant win over Mexico's greatest export, Alberto Del Rio. And Shinsuke Nakamura earns yet another draft pick for SmackDown. Always impressive is Nakamura. He continues this streak of momentum. And I gotta say, SmackDown, they better keep their eyes on Nakamura. The Big Red Machine is headed to SmackDown. He's headed to Tuesday nights. This is a big pickup for SmackDown. You want to talk about the veteran. Of course, the former director of operations, Kane, recently had his falling out with Seth Rollins. This could be the chance for a new beginning for the Big Red Machine on the blue brand. But speaking of Seth Rollins, the architect behind the Shield, the man who defeated Dean Ambrose last night in a 60-minute Iron Man match, is making his way to the ring. And I'm surprised that Seth Rollins is even competing tonight, quite frankly. I mean, after the hell that he and Dean Ambrose went through last night, I don't see how Seth Rollins can still stand. But I guess that just shows just how damn talented this guy really is. Seth Rollins, of course, in the Iron Man match, it was coming down to crunch time. We had actually entered overtime. These two men, I don't know how they were still fighting after the 60-minute mark, but they were. And Seth Rollins just happened to get a cheeky roll-up out of nowhere. And it caught everyone off guard. Seth Rollins, well, he stole the victory in that matchup. It really did. After everything that the two men had managed to survive, Seth Rollins just snuck in there, got the quick pin, and he immediately got out of there. And while we saw the ramifications, Dean Ambrose assaulting Roman Reigns, destroying the ringside area. But I guess at least for Seth Rollins, he no longer has to worry about Dean Ambrose, because Dean Ambrose is headed to Tuesday nights. Dean Ambrose is now joining Roman Reigns on SmackDown. So for Seth Rollins, he can finally move forward. He can finally move on to bigger and better things. And I guess the same could be said for Dean Ambrose, really. The two men had essentially just stagnated each other's careers. I mean, like I said last night at WrestleMania, the two men could both be world champions at this point, but because they had been so busy fighting each other, I mean, it really just stunted their growth for those 9 months that they were at each other's throats. So perhaps this is the true beginning for Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, perhaps this is the time where he could become a world champion once, well, finally. But tonight, Seth Rollins, he's going up against Apollo Crews, and for Apollo Crews, someone who's still himself fairly new to the SmackDown roster, much like Nakamura, Apollo Crews, this is a huge opportunity. Of course, Apollo Crews was a part of that 6-man Intercontinental Championship ladder matchup last night at WrestleMania. He put Tyler Breeze through a ladder with a power bomb, but Apollo Crews could not win the Intercontinental title at the end of the day. Tonight, this could be a good opportunity for Crews to bounce back. He might be in a bit over his head with Seth Rollins, but perhaps I'm underestimating Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews, this would be a huge upset if he could defeat Seth Rollins, but Seth Rollins wins that little battle of athleticism with a missile dropkick. But Apollo Crews not backing down. He doesn't care how much Seth Rollins has done. Apollo Crews says, bring it on! And Crews with a massive clothesline and a kip up to boot. And just look at the height on that elbow drop. Apollo Crews is not about to back down from Seth Rollins. This could be the opportunity of a lifetime for Apollo Crews. If he gets a win over Seth Rollins here, he may have lost at WrestleMania, but this will be a good way for Apollo Crews to jump right back on track. As Apollo Crews, I mean, really has had a bit of a rough start here in Universe Mode. He was pinned by Tyler Breeze in the 6-man tag team matchup on SmackDown, just heading into WrestleMania. Of course, part of that came down to the fact that his partners, Cody Rhodes and Austin Aries, abandoned him to fight amongst themselves. Apollo Crews, it was essentially a 1-on-3 handicap matchup by that point. There was nothing really he could do. But Apollo Crews' momentum really has been shut down ever since his debut win over Sheamus. And now Apollo Crews, well, the opportunity to face Seth Rollins tonight, maybe this could be a chance where Apollo Crews once again could look to get his name on the map. He's had a couple of opportunities, but they've just been, for one reason or another, Apollo Crews hasn't been able to live up to them. He has that one debut win over Sheamus, and now it could perhaps be starting to look as though Apollo Crews was just a one-hit wonder. An inverted Frankensteiner by Seth Rollins, and that is going to cement Seth Rollins' position, his dominance in this matchup. Look out, springboard knee, but no, Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews able to dodge the springboard knee. And here comes Apollo Crews with an Olympic slam. Apollo Crews, massive knee to Seth Rollins. I wouldn't really say that either man really has the fatigue advantage in this matchup, because Seth Rollins, he just had that grueling Iron Man match, true, for 60 minutes, but Apollo Crews, I mean, he was in the ladder match. That matchup was very physical. Whenever you've got a solid steel ladder involved, well then it's never going to be pretty. Although perhaps, I guess Apollo Crews wasn't involved in that matchup for as much time, so perhaps Seth Rollins will have, perhaps Seth Rollins is at a disadvantage here. But then again, Seth Rollins, his cardio is just unmatched, so, I mean, he spent the past month or so training for that matchup, so I really don't know. I don't really think either man would have the advantage in that aspect. But in this matchup at the moment, Seth Rollins is in control. As he scales to the top rope, Rollins could be looking for a frog splash. Hook of the leg on Apollo Crews. 1, 2. But a kick out by Crews. Seth Rollins looking to stay on the attack, trying to keep his temper under control. You gotta really think though. Seth Rollins has got to be riding high after that win over Dean Ambrose. He's finally banished him from his life. 1, 2. No, the super kick not enough to put away Apollo Crews. You can see a bit of frustration starting to set in for Seth Rollins. As Seth Rollins now just a boot straight to the face, right on the nose of Apollo Crews. No respect from Seth Rollins. As Apollo Crews brought over to the ropes. Seth Rollins gonna dump him to the outside. Seth Rollins could be looking to take a risk. He's got that look in his eye. Look out, Apollo Crews. Seth Rollins is coming for ya. Through the middle ropes, no! Crews had it scouted. Apollo Crews saw it coming. As Rollins tries to get back to his feet, but Apollo Crews, this is his chance. A massive enziguri to the side of the skull. And Apollo Crews, could he be on the verge of a massive upset? Seth Rollins, we saw Crews use this at WrestleMania. Massive power bomb. Hook of the leg by Crews, 1. Got him 2, got him 3, no! Rollins able to kick out. Apollo Crews could not put him away with that power bomb, and again, Seth Rollins able to kick out. I mean, you saw the ease with which Apollo Crews just tossed Rollins into the air like a rag doll and just drove him back down with that power bomb. But Seth Rollins had enough in him to kick out. Is now Apollo Crews, crossbody from the second rope. But Crews wasn't able to stick for the pin. I guess he's got something else in mind. Apollo Crews trying to call Seth Rollins to his feet. Apollo Crews, full head of steam, belly to belly, no! Rollins able to block the belly to belly suplex. And Seth Rollins, he's got Apollo Crews up with a running sit out powerbomb. 1, 2, and a kick out again by Apollo Crews. Apollo Crews will not die in this matchup either. As now Seth Rollins, sit out face buster, maybe that'll do it. Hook of the leg by Rollins. 1, 2. No, a kick out again by Crews. Seth Rollins. Well, Seth Rollins is starting to get a bit heated. I mean, what more does he have to do to put Apollo Crews away? I mean, especially after that hard-fought match with Dean Ambrose last night, Seth Rollins, I mean, he might be starting to have flashbacks if Apollo Crews keeps kicking out. I mean, Seth Rollins, what's that going to do to his psyche? As Rollins now to the high-rent district, these two men up in no man's land. Seth Rollins, oh, the superplex. But again, he keeps it hooked. We saw this at WrestleMania. Into the Falcon Arrow pinfall. 1, 2, 3, no! Apollo Crews, with every fiber of his being, somehow able to kick out as Seth Rollins is throwing a temper tantrum. Meanwhile, Apollo Crews has taken the opening. Where is Crews finding this energy? A massive splash in the corner. Crews off the ropes, ducks under a clothesline. Rollins bounces back into a clothesline and a kip up. Apollo Crews, where is all this energy coming from? Shooting star press. Apollo Crews, did he just pick up the win? Huge upset. 1, 2, no. Seth Rollins somehow able to survive that onslaught of offense by Apollo Crews, but if Apollo Crews can hit this, it's gonna be all over. Seth Rollins up in the air. Wait a minute, Rollins able to reverse it with the DDT. And now Apollo Crews is a sitting duck. Seth Rollins picks Crews to his feet. Crews whipped into the corner as Seth Rollins, I know what he's going for here. This is signature Seth Rollins in the corner. Buckle bomb. And Apollo Crews crumbles in a heap. And Seth Rollins for the finishing blow. Curb stomp. And it's all over. Seth Rollins hook of the leg on Crews. 1, 2, 3. And once again, it is Seth Rollins at the end of the night who stands tall over his opponent. A huge win over Dean Ambrose last night at WrestleMania, followed up by a win over Apollo Crews here tonight on Raw. And this brings us to our final draft pick of the evening, folks. Neville. Adrian Neville is going to Monday Night Raw, and that is going to conclude this first part. Stick around for part 2 of the WWE Draft, and until next time, keep on YouTubing.